Now it's starting.
Okay.
And to stop, it will be that again. It says REC recording.
So I leave it on?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're live right now, right?
Yes.
Yay. Well, welcome, dear friends, dear brothers and sisters in Madagascar.
Miaraba nareo tonga sondray eto.
Yeah? Oh,
His head is cut off. It's not quite set.
No, it's fine.
That is fine?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I want to know. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Why? We don't cut his head, right?
No, that's why I didn't know. It was
so I've already lost my head today. Okay.
Eny ary manomboka isika.
But nice to be back after a break because Dr. Daniel was, well, he was with you.
Tsara rehefa afaka miverina indray isika satria tsy teto I pasteur Daniel fa tany aminareo.
So welcome back, sir.
Tonga soa.
Let us begin with prayer again.
Vavaka isika.
Lord, illumine our hearts again with the wonder of and the power of the gospel. May you open our hearts to receive the living word of Jesus Christ. We pray in his holy name. Amen.
Tanay ambavaka ny fotoana mba hiasanao aty anatinay andraisanay ny teny iteny velona avy amin'ny Jesosy Kristy. Amen.
Amen. So it's been, I think, about 6 weeks since we met last.
Asa enina herinandro zay ngamba no nionantsika farany.
So up here in Minnesota, the summer is fading away, and we have the beginning of autumn.
Mialasa ny lohataona ary dia miditra tsikelikely amin'ny ririnina zao eto Minnesota.
And so in Madagascar, they are in what season?
Summer.
Summer going into fall too.
Ia, any Madagasikara zao dia hiditra amin'ny fahavaratra.
So again, good to be with you this well, it's morning here.
Tsara mahafaly miaraka aminareo eto indray zao maraina izao.
With the Lord's help, we will be spending our time this morning on the Luther's Small and Large Catechism.
Raha sitrapon'Andriamanitra dia hijery ny fotom-pianarana kely sy lehibe ny Lutera isika na ny katekisma kely sy lehibe.
Dr. Daniel has said that you have, because I asked the question if you have copies of Madagascar, the catechisms, and he said you do.
Nanontany an'i Dr. Daniel hoe manana ny fotom-pianarana kely ve ianareo dia hoy aho hoe eny.
And I also understand that Dr. Daniel has given you the assignment to memorize the small catechism.
Ary dia araka ny fahalalako dia devoir nomena anareo ny anao tsy anjery ny katekisma kely na ny fotom-pianarana kely.
Both of us, Dr. Daniel and I, in seminary, we also had to memorize the small catechism.
Izahay na izana Dr. Daniel dia tsy maintsy na nianatra tsy anjery ny fotom-pianarana kely tany amin'ny seminaire.
Based on our experience, maybe a word of encouragement is to, once you memorize it, to try to keep it current.
Ny zavatra amporosehako dia ny hoe rehefa vita tsy anjery le izy dia tsara koa ny mamerina izany mba tsy ho very.
Sadly, my memory is getting old and dusty.
Mampalahelo izy dia ny fitadidiako dia miantitra ary boboka.
But not this man.
Kanefa ny azy dia mbola tsara. I did the other way.
Well, so that is, we're going to be talking first about the historical context of the catechisms.
Voalohany dia ny contexte historique ny katekisma kely na ny ara-tantara nazonan'ity katekisma kelyn'ny Lutera ity.
And so I'm using, in fact, some class notes I took when I was in seminary.
Ary dia avy amin'ny kahie nataoko zany tamin'izaho mbola nianatra tany amin'ny seminaire.
but I'll try to convey to you the seminal parts of what I think is important.
Kanefa ny zava-dehibe zay mahasoa no tiako zaraina amitsika.
Well, the first thing to note, in fact, the very first thing in my handwritten notes is that the catechism, the small catechism, is the oldest confessional writing of the Reformation.
Ny raha tiako tenenina izy dia ny katekisma kely na ny fotom-pianarana kely no soratra ara-pinoana na confessionnel momba ny réformation na ny fanitsipivavahana.
And so the small catechism is the first attempt to identify the major themes of the Reformation.
Noho izany ny katekisma kely dia niezaka natao mba amaritana ny fampianarana ny reformation.
The small catechism then was written beginning in the fall of 1528 and finished, Martin Luther finished writing the small catechism in 1529.
Tamin'ny automne 1528 nanomboan'ny Lutera nanoratra azy ary dia taty amin'ny 1529 navy tany azy.
And so he began with I have copies, you've probably seen these too, but in America, the small catechism comes in this format.
Aty Amerika dia toy izao no endriky ny boky kely momba ny fotom-pianarana, reto roa reto.
And well, here's an older book, but this is the large catechism and the small catechism, so you can see the difference between the two.
Ny ray dia ny katekisma kely na fotom-pianarana kely ary ny ray dia ny katekisma lehibe ary dia hitanareo amin'izao ny mahasamihafa azy.
The Luther's small catechism was first, and then based on this, Luther came out with the larger catechism.
Ilay katekisma kely na fotom-pianarana kely ny voalohany ary dia niainga avy amin'izany nanoratany Lutera ny katekisma lehibe.
Now I should ask Dr. Daniel if he is going to require that you memorize this.
Hanontany any Dr. Daniel hoe ilaina ataonareo tsenjery ve ity katekisma lehibe ity? No.
No, okay, that's good to know.
Tsara no ahafantaranareo an'izany.
So Luther was at the time in 1529, he was a pastor in Wittenberg.
Pasteur atao Wittenberg, Lutera tamin'ny 1529.
He was also a professor or teacher at the University of Wittenberg.
Mpampianatra professeur atao amin'ny université ny Wittenberg koa izy tamin'izany fotoana izany.
And so catechisms, the catechism was not invented by Martin Luther.
Ny katekisma na ny fotom-pianarana dia tsy noforonin'ny Martin Luther.
And just so some background information here.
Misy zavatra vao ilaina fantatra mikasika izany.
Beginning in the early church and then going through the medieval churches.
Tamin'ny fiangonana tampiandohana sy tamin'ny fiangonana tanelanelany Moyen Âge.
There were these catechisms created from time to time.
Dia nisy ny katekisma na fotom-pianarana izay nosoratana araka ny fotoanany.
Catechisms are simply handbooks.
Ny katekisma dia tsy inona fa boky izay tokony ho eny am-pelantanan'ny olona vakian'ny olona.
A distillation, or rather a condensing the essentials of the Christian faith in a handy way.
Mamintona ny fampianarana kristiana amin'ny fomba azon'ny olona azy eny am-pelantanany.
The word catechism itself comes from the Greek kata echo.
Ny teny hoe katekisma dia avy amin'ny teny grika hoe kata echo.
Which kata echo in Greek means simply to repeat back or to sound back.
Ny dikany hoe kata koa amin'ny teny grika teny hoe mamerina mandefa de mamerina mandefa de mamerina.
And so this was, catechism is really expressing the method of teaching that was popular in the early church, in the medieval church, and in the Reformation church.
Ny katekisma de fomba fampianarana tamin'ny fiangonana tampiendoana sy nandritra ny fotoana tanelanelany ary nandritra ny reformation.
Where the students would listen to the teacher and then repeat back in their own words what they heard.
Averiny miaino ny fampianarana omeny mpampianatra ny mpianatra ary de averiny mpianatra any amin'ny mpampianatra zany amin'ny fomba fitenin'ny mpianatra.
In the medieval church, it was common for the catechisms to include the commandments, the Apostles' Creed, and the Lord's Prayer.
Tamin'ny katekisma tamin'ny taona tanelanelany dia ny zavatra nahazatra dia ny fampianarana mikasika ny fanekemponona, dia ny faharoa ny didifolo ary ny vavaka nampianarin'ny tompo.
And so, you know, that has a very old tradition or lineage, a legacy to have those three parts, the commandments, the creed, and the Lord's Prayer.
Noho izany dia fomba nahazatra teo amin'ny fiangonana ny fizarana telo ireo dia ny didifolo, ny fanekemponona ary ny vavaka nampianarin'ny tompo.
However, Luther added to the basics here, the basics of the faith, he added a section on the sacraments, on baptism and Holy Communion.
Ny nanampiny Lutera azy ireo dia ny fampianarana mikasika ny sakramenta dia ny batisa sy ny fanasan'ny tompo.
So that was one of the things that Luther changed or added. He thought it was important that there be a brief explanation of the importance of the sacraments.
Io zany ny fanampiny izay neverin'ny Lutera fa lehibe mikasika ny sakramenta.
The second thing that Luther changed is, especially from the medieval church,
Ny zavatra faharoa zay novan'ny Lutera tamin'ny fiangonana tanelanelany tamin'ny Moyen Âge.
many of the medieval catechisms emphasized what must be done to avoid God's anger and to earn His favor.
Ny zavatra zay nazovahana tamin'ny fiangonana Moyen Âge dia ny hoe inona ny tokony atao mba hahazoana fankasitrahana amin'Andriamanitra ary koa mba hisorohana ny fahatezeran'Andriamanitra. Io no niesorin'ny Lutera.
And so Luther corrected that emphasis by emphasizing God's gift of grace to us.
Nahitsy ny Lutera zany na nikorrigen'ny Lutera zany tamin'ny nanolony azy momba ny hoe fitiavan'Andriamanitra sy ny fahasoavan'Andriamanitra.
The third thing that Luther did to change was to simplify the catechism.
Ny zavatra manaraka zay nataon'ny Lutera dia nanao ny katekisma ho tsotra, simple.
Many of the catechisms at that time were complicated.
Ny katekisma zay nisy tamin'izany fotoana zany dia sarotra, compliqué.
And so Luther simplified it, and we could thank Luther's 3-year-old son, Hans Luther, for that.
Ary ilaintsika ny misaotra ny zanaky Lutera, Hans Lutera, zay 3 taona nahazoantsika an'izany katekisma tsotra izany.
And I say that because as a 3-year-old, Hans would run around the Luther household and ask, "Was ist das? Was ist das?"
Hitatsika amin'izany ozy izy i Hans Lutera miazakazaka ao Brown dadany dia manontany foana hoe "Was ist das? Was ist das?" Hoe inona ny dikan'izany, inona ny dikan'izany?
Yeah, was ist das is German for what is this?
Amin'ny teny Allemand, was ist das? Dia hoe inona ny dikan'izany, inona zany?
And so Luther, that was Luther's main question that he asked in the catechism. What is the sacraments? What are the commandments all about? And so forth.
Izany no foto-kevitra lehibe ny katekisme Luterany hoe inona moa ny atao hoe sakramenta, inona no atao hoe finoana kristianina.
And so we thank a 3-year-old for the inspiration behind the catechism.
Noho izany dia isaorantsika io zaza 3 taona io zay nahazoantsika ny katekisme eo am-pelantanantsika.
So that is some historical background. Now let me give you the historical context of why the catechism came when it did.
Zay ny background na ny contexte historique ary dia ho jerentsika indray zany zao hoe inona ny foto-kevitra amin'ity katekisma ity.
In the late 1520s, the Reformation was beginning to grow to a great extent.
Late 1520s.
Yeah,
Okay.
1520s. Yeah.
Nanomboka nitombo ny réformationa tany amin'ny taona 285 na 1520 tany amin'ny fotoana faraparany.
And so part of the growth, it was to do some parish, they had parish, congregational visits or visitations to, especially in the region of Germany called Saxony.
Tam'izany nanomboka ny atao hoe visitasy na famangina ny fiangonana congrégation tany amin'ny faritra Saxony tany Allemagne.
And so the Reformation was at least 10 years old by then.
Efa 10 taona eo ny réformation tam'izany.
And the Reformation was growing from city to city and territory to territory.
Ary dia nihitatra amin'ny tanàna samihafa ny réformation.
So the reformers simply wanted to know, okay, what is going on out there among the congregations?
Ary dia tiany ny réformateur na Lutera ho fantatra hoe inona marina moa ny fizotran'ity raharaha ty.
And so congregational visitations were on the docket to do.
Noho izany io amin'ny teny malagasy hoe visitasy na ny famangina dia anisan'ny programa lehibe teo amin'ny Lutera tamin'izay zany famangina ny fiangonana.
By visiting congregations, the reformers wanted to know into ascertain the state of faith in these congregations.
Rehefa manao famangina na ny visitasy dia tiany réformateur na ny mpanitsy fivavahana ho fantatra hoe azony olona ve ny réformation ny fivavahana kristiana.
And so when the visitations, or most of them, were completed, the results were shocking.
Rehefa vita ny Lutera ny famangina nataony dia tena nanaitra azy ny vokatra hita.
Even among the bishops of the Reformation,
Eny fa na dia ireo évêque bishop amin'ny réformation azy
there were problems with bishops being absent from their duties.
dia hita hoe tsy hita lava, absent lava vangabao ny évêque.
Bishops who were not ordained properly.
Misy tamin'ireo évêque ireo tsy vita ordination ara-dalàna.
Problems with bishops having concubines.
Misy koa ny évêque zay manana vady kely maro.
And problems with alcohol abuse.
Ary ao ny évêque misotro toaka.
So the disappointing results came from the visitations.
Noho izany dia tena nandiso fanaontenana ny vokatry ny visitasy nataon'ny Lutera sy ireo réformateur.
Therefore, Martin Luther thought that he needed to provide something to congregations and to families, the basics of the faith.
Noho izany dia noheveriny Lutera hoe ilaina ho eny am-pelatanan'ny fianakaviana ny fampianarana fototra momba ny fivavahana kristianina fotom-pianarana.
And so the small catechism is mainly designed for families and individuals.
Noho izany ny katekisma dia natao ho an'ny fianakaviana sy ho an'ny kristianina tsotra.
And the large catechism is mainly designed for pastors and bishops.
Ny katekisma kely dia ho an'ny fianakaviana sy ny olona tsotra, ary ny katekisma lehibe dia natao ho an'ny pastera sy ireo eveka.
And so the small came first, and then the large. The large catechism is really based on sermons that Luther preached on the small catechism.
Noho izany ny katekisma kely no tonga voalohany, ary ny katekisma lehibe dia vokatry ny fampianarana natoroteny nataon'ny Lutera mikasika ny katekisma kely.
Before we actually open up the catechism and look at some of the writings,
Alohan'ny hijerevantsika ny katekisma kely ary dia amakafaka ny soratra ao anatiny.
let me just say first that the catechism, the small catechism especially, is not a denominational document.
Zavatra voalohany tiako faritana dia hoe tsy boky natao amin'ny dénomination iray ny katekisma kely.
It was intended to be a ecumenical document.
Ny eritreretin'ny Lutera ho document na tahiri-kevitra ekumenika ny katekisma kely.
And so the small catechism actually became and is a Christian classic.
Noho izany dia anisan'ny boky klasika eo amin'ny literatiora kristianina ny katekisma kely.
That is appreciated by Christians in many denominations.
Ary antoko-pinoana maro no mankafy ny katekisma kely.
The second thing that I'll mention before we go into the actual catechism
Zavatra manaraka tsara marihana momba ny katekisma dia izao.
is to say something briefly about the structure of the small catechism.
Ny famaritana ny structure na ny rafitry ny katekisma kely na ny fotom-pianarana kely.
That is to say, why does the catechism begin with the Ten Commandments and not like the Lord's Prayer?
Ny fanontaniana hoe nahoana ny didy folo no nanombohana ny katekisma kely fa tsy ny fivavahana nampianarin'ny Tompo.
And Luther's thinking here was to begin with the Ten Commandments,
Ny eritreretin'ny Lutera dia nanomboka amin'ny didy folo,
to emphasize what God demands of his or requires of his people.
manambara ny hoe inona ny takian'Andriamanitra amin'ny olony.
So after the Ten Commandments comes the Apostles' Creed.
Aorianany didy folo dia ny fanekempinoana.
Originally, the Apostles' Creed was a baptismal creed.
Tamin'ny voalohany dia fanekempinoana ho an'ny olona atao batisa ny fanekempinoana.
That, especially in the Western or Latin Church,
Indrindra tamin'ny fiangonana tany andrefana, fiangonana latina na romanina, fa fantatrareo le hoe fiangonana roa tandrefana sy tatsinanana.
that adults, in preparation for their baptism, they had to memorize and understand the Apostles' Creed.
Ny olona lehibe zay atao batisa dia ilaina nahafantatra ny fanekempinoana.
And so we go from the commandments or demand to the creed, which is all about, to Luther, the promise of the gospel.
Noho izany dia miainga avy amin'ny didy folo ny zavatra takian'Andriamanitra ary dia mankany amin'ny fanekempinoana izay manambara ny fahasoavan'Andriamanitra.
Which brings us to the third part of the catechism, which is the Lord's Prayer.
Ny fizarana fahatelo dia ny vavaka nampianarin'ny Tompo.
And so we go from demand to promise to the prayer or life.
Noho izany dia voalohany ny zavatra takiana, ny faharoa ny teny fampanantenana ary ny fahatelo dia ny vavaka.
And then after the Lord's Prayer, we have the sacraments, baptism and then communion, which also deal with the life of Christ given to the church.
Ary dia ny famaranana dia ny sakrameta, ny fanasan'ny tompony batisa, izay manambara the promise of Christ. How do you say that?
Yeah, he gives himself, the life of.
Yeah, mikasika ny fiainan'ny Kristy na ny ain'ny Kristy omeny ny fiangonana.
And then later on, the morning and evening prayers were added to the catechism.
Tateorina dia nisy ny atao hoe vavaka amin'ny maraina ary mivavaka amin'ny hariva. Nampiana ny katekisma.
So that is the overall structure, the Ten Commandments, the Creed, the Lord's Prayer, the sacraments, and then the morning and evening prayer is meant to envelop the whole Christian life.
Noho izany dia ireo zany no fizarana ny voalohany, didi folo, ratakina ny faharoa ny fanikempinoana, fahatelo ny vavaka nampianarin'ny tompony, faefatra dia ny vavaka amin'ny maraina sy hariva, ary zany rehetrarehetra zany dia no eritreretina hoe ho fiainan'ny fiainana kristianina isanandro isanandro.
And so Luther, later on in his life, he reflected on this order, commandments, creed, and the Lord's Prayer. He reflected on it, and he said it was like a physician, a doctor, who begins with the diagnosis before offering the treatment.
Noho izany rehefa nandinika io rafitry ny katekisma io Lutera dia mitovy amin'ny dokotera izay manomboka ny asany amin'ny fametrahana ny diagnostika izay vao mizotra makamin'ny fitsaboana.
And so it begins with the diagnosis, and that's what the commandments are all about, diagnosing not only what God requires, but how we fall short.
Noho izany ny dingana voalohany dia ny diagnostika na ny famaritana ny aretina dia tsy inona zany fa ny toetrany olona zatra takian'Andriamanitra ary ny toetrany olombelona.
And so when we realize how we fall short of loving God and loving our neighbor,
rehefa tsapatsika ny fahotantsika tsy afaka mitia an'Andriamanitra, tsy mitia ny namantsika isika,
the point and aim of the commandments then is to bring us to Christ.
Noho izany ny zavatra kendren'ny didin'Andriamanitra na ny didy folo dia ny hitaona antsika ho eo amin'ny Kristy.
And so the Creed, the Lord's Prayer, the sacraments, that is what they do. They are the treatment for the diagnosis.
Noho izany ny fanekempinoana, ny sakramenta, ny fanasan'ny tompony, ny batisa, ny vavaka dia tsy inona fa traitement na fitsaboana ny sorotraretina na ny diagnostika.
And so we're gonna take a short break, and then when we come back, we'll dive in and look at actual sections of the Small Catechism and the Large too.
Noho izany dia isy break kely dia rehefa avetsika miverina dia hijery ireo fizarana ao amin'ny fotom-pianarana kely. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll take a short break.
All right, short break. And